La 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 lava, ch 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 chicken. The funniest thing to me is we watched that Minecraft movie and that song that was like a week ago, and Chris and I cannot get that song out of our head. Um, just nonstop. All right, let's see what I'm gonna do today. I don't know what I'm gonna do today yet. We were edging closer to the start of my Harkonnen alt. But it is not this day, because I need more Saturnine mats. Which means we're going to go do some deep desert testing stations here in a bit. But not quite yet, because we are going to do some crafting. First, we got to make some filters. And then I'll get caught up on chat here in a minute. Good morning, everybody. Here it is on the beach in Greece with his shields fueled for 12 days. Nice. Slacker says, built a forward base last night, flew to the far end of the Sector I PvP section, spent hours harvesting from a large spice blow, left with 40k spice and enough ingots to make 200 plastinium, so that's a win. Obar Sturgis said, crafted my first buggy last night. Nothing wrong with that, Obastar. Be excited. It's worth being excited about. Yeah, that's why I haven't done any of the death stills, because I'm just not ready for that kind of commitment. All right. Now, I increased my water production by quite a bit last night, so I would be genuinely curious to see. These are full, because I left them on. Both of those are full. I'm going to go up top and check that one too and see how full that one is. Here in a moment. It'll be interesting to see, because actually the top one is for guild members as well, so I don't know if anybody's used it or not. Boom. 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 Oh, it failed. I hate it when that happens. I wanted to do it. It wouldn't let me. I'll have to do it off the edge of the building. So let's see how full this one is. Also full, or almost completely peak full. That's nice. So that's going to give me quite a bit more water production. What do we got in here? We've got a double sealed still tent and a Mark V. Don't need either one of those right now. Alright, let's drop down and check out what I need to do production-wise before we head off into the deep desert and do our testing station runs. Bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum bum 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 bum. Yep, that's where I'm at in period. That's why I have stuck with wind traps 100% of the way. I haven't worried about the stills. I'm not worried about them at all. for sure. But it's to each their own. Speaking of which, I think the next course of action for me, now that I have built my spice refinery, is going to be probably working towards this wind turbine directional. And then after that, or do I go for the water storage first? I should probably go for this first, which means industrial pumps. And a lot more duraluminum. And a lot more silicone. I should probably work on this one before anything else, because more water is gonna be good. What's up, Nigel? Yeah, that's why I ended up with 2 buggies, one down south and one up north. Wind traps generate, here. Wind turbines do power. Wind traps do water. So the wind traps are to produce water. So as an example, I have 4 of these. I have 4 of the regular wind traps on my base, and it keeps 3 medium cisterns full all the time. So works perfectly for me. Of course, I'm always running out of water, but that's just the nature of this game. You're always going to be running low on water. Always. I'll worry about the duraluminum later. Let's just get all the cobalt paste going while I go out and do the next step of this, which is going to be... I need... what was it? Industrial pumps, I think, which I know where to get those. Storage. Yeah, I'm going to need a large water cistern. I need industrial pumps. Pump it up. Those were up at the Sentinel City, right? Yep. Industrial pumps right over there. Which means I should, I'm not gonna do armor. I do need to make a deep desert run. Which I could probably do later. Because I want to get some more of these. I have the boots and the gloves. I still need the chest piece and the head for the Saturnine. As a solo player, Imperator, I will never do a deep desert base out in the deep desert. It's not worth the hassle to me. I have so much time on my hands. Like, for me, the way that I play, obviously I am in a guild, and as the guild moves towards that end of the game and starts to do stuff with a group, I will participate in that. But from a solo player's perspective, I will never build a base in the deep desert. I have enough time on my hands that I am content to grab my ornithopter, spend 15 minutes flying out to the edge of the place, harvest the nodes that I need, and float on back. Like, I have, it's 30 minutes of my time. I stream for a living. I'm live. I'm making money. It's part of my day job. I have no problems doing that because I'm live. Now, if I was doing it, if I wasn't streaming and wasn't making a living being online, I would do what I've always done in other games. I would join an active guild, I would be an active member of that guild, and I would, wherever the guild wants to build their base, I would go be a part of that base, I would contribute to that base, etc. And I will contribute to the base that our guild members are going to work on doing, but it's not my priority. Because I play so many other games, I am not whole hog in Dune Awakening. But back in the day when I played, EverQuest 2, EverQuest 1, Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2, World of Warcraft, I've always been in a guild, contributing to the guild goals. Um, so, but as a solo player, like, yeah, there's no point in wasting the resources. It takes too much time to harvest the resources to build the base that's just going to get destroyed in a week, even though it's only half of the stuff. Unless you want to try to tear it down every single week before the deep desert storm hits, which is time commitment. Um, so yeah, I don't think I'll ever build a base personally out on the deep desert. Hector says, have we had any trolls? Not live, not yet. I did boot a bunch of people off of YouTube this morning, but that's normal. We just every single morning when I wake up and I go through my comments, I like my favorite is the deep desert post I did the other day. There have been like 50 people who were adamant that I'm full of shit and that they have proof that people are purposefully building bases. And I had three people this morning tell me, because I said in that video, I don't care about nodes. I will build, because if I build a blueprint base, my objective is to place the blueprint wherever it fits in the environment. I don't care about nodes. I'm not looking at nodes. I'm looking at where does my base fit. Is it green so that I can place it, or is it red? I can't place it. Okay, move it to the left, move it to the right, move it down, move it up. And as soon as my blueprint shows me that I'm safe to drop that blueprint on the environment, I am dropping that blueprint on the environment. I do not give a shit about what nodes are there. And I had multiple people this morning. Then you're just as bad as the node stealers because you're purposefully destroying nodes. Fuck off. That is not how that works. If you want to claim that someone is maliciously claiming nodes, then you have to be inside their head, and you have to see them purposefully planning out their base build to take advantage of the nodes. When it's someone like me who doesn't care about the nodes, and I'm just placing a base wherever is the quickest and easiest place to make a base, you cannot accuse me of purposefully stealing your nodes. So those players, I've been banning those people left and right. Last like 3 days since that post has been up. Yep. And the funny thing is somebody yesterday tried to use Andy from the Funcom team made a post in Discord and said, we are aware that there are a handful of cases where players have purposefully built bases on top of nodes. We are looking into it to find a way to discourage that activity from happening. And the handful of people who are upset about it have used that post as some sort of proof that Funcom knows that everyone is doing it, and you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get in trouble if you take my node, and I'm gonna screenshot you taking my. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's like the people who are on TikTok running around screenshotting people building their bases on top of water dew patches and reporting those players to Funcom. Like, there are some people who are just way too up in it. So those people I've been happily banning every single morning when I log on. I don't want them in my channel. I don't want them in my community. They're not here for the right reasons. I don't think I need to worry about putting on my heavy armor to go do industrial pumps. One very important thing that I forgot to do. Yep. Everybody knows what happens to snitches, exactly. Yeah, Sarah said, like, there's so much to do. There's no reason to rush to the deep desert. Also because they still have so much they're adding to the game in terms of, like, deep desert content. There's still more balance passes to be made. On top of which, there's all the Landsrad changes that'll be coming for solo and small groups. There's no reason to rush to the deep desert. Those players who are in the deep desert right now complaining about everything, they'll be gone in a month. They won't be playing anymore because they'll find a new game that captures their attention. Hell, like, and if they're like me, like, I play so many games every month. You know, I do plan on Dune Awakening being a long-term thing for me, but this isn't the only thing. I'm already splitting my time. I was playing the Altars. I'm doing Death Stranding 2 right now. I'll be doing Destiny 2 in a couple of weeks. Like, those whiny people are going to be gone in a couple of weeks. They'll be off to other things, leaving the deep desert wide open for the rest of us who want to be there for the right reasons and who want to play at a chill, relaxing pace. And the only reason they're doing that, Blackthorn, is because other people are making such a big deal out of the tier 6 nodes. Like, if that wasn't a big deal, that wouldn't be the meta right now. But the meta right now is, oh my god, tier 6 nodes. And so, because people have made it into a big deal, then of course the trolls are going to make it a big deal. The rest of us who don't care about T6 nodes are off building bases and playing the game and having fun. And since we don't care about tier 6 nodes, it doesn't matter to us. Like, it's not even a thing. Like, I'm off here in tier 4 gathering industrial pumps. Why? Because I need them to make a cistern. Why? Because I want my base to be cool. But it's pointless building a big base in the Haga Basin. You need to have your big base in the deep desert. You're not playing efficiently if you build your base in the Haga Basin. Only idiots build their bases in the Haga Basin.
Sector weather
Okay.
alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
1 and 1 is 3, if you say so. You do you, honey. Ooh, I got 7 pumps out of that one. That's what she said.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Yeah, I know. There's a chest here I want to grab, though, right? We got 2 minutes. I don't know if there's any more chests up here or not. I know there was the one right there at the door when you come in. I'm thinking that was the only one. No, nope, there's one right here. Never mind.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Oh, they're just silhouettes. They're so far down there. That's cool. I'm not gonna be able to get the headshot from here, am I? Nope. There's colliders in the way.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Peekaboo, bitch. Yeah, it's out of the Tier A Deep Desert Imperial testing stations. And I'm gonna put together. I've got 2 of the pieces now, so I just gotta go farm those testing stations until such time. Poisoned myself, damn it. Anyway, lava chicken, kids. I think someone was saying they were seeing pieces for 20,000-25,000. So if I decide I don't want to farm the last 2 pieces, just want to buy it. As long as I'm okay with my taxes, I might just buy the last 2 pieces, the last 2 schematics. But it's like I'm not in a rush. It's just one of those things where I need to farm those bases anyway to pay for my taxes. So if I get armor as a side result, I'm not gonna complain. Ooh, we got a pentashield door up here. What's up, Bubbles? What we got today? Some tasty. I'm just here for the industrial pumps, baby. Pump it up. Oh, there's a... it's not going to be worthwhile for me to build that. But somebody out there likes drill shots. Alright, I do not want to just drop down here because... Oh no, your 12-year-old router is dying. I'm wondering if my... that was something I told Chris the other day. I wonder if our router, which is about 4 years old, has been dying because my backup internet is just not... It hasn't been up in like 3-4 days. And the problem is we're also having all these storms, so I don't know how much is storm related. But like, and then like in Christina's, where her family lives, they're all complaining because their internet has been down too. So I don't know how much of it is like the modem's dying or if it's just that internet is just such shitty backwoods internet that it's just failing all the time because of the storms. Internet tariffs for real, right? Oh shit. Didn't even hear that dude. Well, at least I'm getting tons of pumps out of here. Like, I think Arnold would like this place. So many pumps, man. He could get good pumps in this place. And that's a stupid dad joke that I will die on that hill. Just go to the Sentinel City, you'll get a good pump, man. Yeah, 12 years is a pretty good run, though, for a router. Dude, this place is massive.
Who's there?
It's almost as big as your mom. What's up? Dude, this place is awesome. It just keeps going and going and going. Your mama's so big, Obi-Wan said, "That's no moon."
I spy an Imperial dog.
Not anymore, you don't. That's a lot. Hit me with something. Oh, I see you. Let me dot you from the other side of the vehicle, brah. Shoot his kneecaps out. Don't see anything up here. Oh, I think he's stuck in the buggy. Sucks to be you, bro. Ooh, that's the first time I've seen one of these. Check this out. Can I ride that around? I'm able to interact with it. What can I do with it? Oh, is this just like a chassis? Aw, man, I got a little excited for nothing. I was like, is that like a transport platform I can drive around? Would have been a lot cooler if it was. Man, I don't see any chests out on this side. But I did get a ton of loot. Yeah, nothing on this side, but there was a ton of stuff inside, so I feel like that was a win. You know what else was a win? My breakfast. Bacon, mushroom, marmalade, scrambled eggs, fresh tortillas. Twas delish. Alright, I don't know how many of these I have, but I'm good. I'm gonna go sell that suit and some other stuff down here. The bad guys haven't heard the word interloper in years.
Still
To be
alive,
fair,
are you?
it's a big word for some people. I think I'll keep everything else. No, I'll sell the Kinjal. I should have asked for more. I'm gonna have to go see if there's more. If there's no more coffee, I'm gonna make an espresso, because breakfast is like trying to put me into a breakfast coma. Ain't no time for it. I got a stream to do. My body's like, but Monday's your day off. I thought you were gonna sleep all day on Monday. We are gonna have a grill out in about 3 hours. Went and bought some chicken from the local market. We're gonna have chicken burgers with fries. I bought some chicken livers. I'm gonna fry up some chicken livers with garlic, butter, and onions. And some Chianti. Some fava beans. Like, I'm not gonna need breakfast after the pancakes. Like, the pancakes are plenty. And she's like, shut up. You need your second breakfast. And I was just like, all right, okay. I will shut up and eat my second breakfast. Alright, did that get me enough industrial pumps? Did I not? Yes, I did. I got enough. I have enough industrial pumps now. So, all I'm lacking is silicone blocks and the duraluminum, which I think this is still producing a boatload of silicone blocks and then like 600 of the cobalt pastes. That's going to be producing, I mean, that's going to be running for a long while. Yeah, that's going to be going for a while. This is also going to be going Nope, this one's almost done. So, what was it out of? Water? Let's wait, because there's only one more node to refine. So let's wait till it gets enough water to do that. Last node. And yeah, I think we're gonna go to I think we're gonna take the heavy thopter and we're gonna go do a well, while I'm waiting on that, we're gonna go take the heavy thopter um and do some testing stations in the deep desert. Speaking of which, if any guildmates are on and want to go to the deep desert, just let me know. Over here. Oh, I forgot to sell the Mark IV radiation suit. I'll need to go sell that. Oh, did I also get... Oh, and I should take some survey probes because I have not probed to the east. The question is, where did I put? I don't remember where I put my thingy. Seriously, I don't know where I put my probe machine. You use the words erudite at work to confuse your colleagues. Oh, it's right there. I'm blind. Like, this thing was literally staring me in the face. I don't need more than 6 probes. Unless it's for your mom. Oh, I guess I was stupid. That's red. That's why I don't need that. Okay. Woo!
Still alive, are you?
Indeed, I am still alive. Oh, I guess I can't sell that Mark IV still suit. I wonder why. I'm an idiot. It was the one in my chest. I need more coffee. Seriously. Alright, let's go to Arakeen. I need to check a couple things. got Arakeen. Taxes are still a few days away, I think. Is Paul Atreides in this game? Not in the way that you might think, because this is an alternate timeline. He is a narrator for some aspects of the game, and he is definitely in the game in a way. I have interacted with him on a couple of quests, but he is not a main character. If you watch the story trailer for Dune Awakening, Paul Atreides narrates the story trailer to tell you that this is one of the many timelines that he saw in his visions. And in this timeline, his mother and father had a daughter who we have interacted with. And there is no Muad'Dib. The Fremen are not here in the same way as in the books. It's an alternate timeline, so everything you think you know from the books doesn't really apply here. Haven't managed to sell anything. I have. I made 6,000 coin. Better than nothing.
Welcome. Would you like to deposit or withdraw Solaris?
I would like to withdraw Solaris.
How much Solaris would you like to withdraw?
I would like to deposit, not withdraw. My bad.
Welcome. Would you like to deposit or with...
Deposit, please. I am the great, the almighty. Oh, I didn't have any to deposit because I left it all back at the base. Herp derpy. Low price of 2,500, please. Correct. They have more freedom to do whatever they want with the story because they're not beholden to the narrative of the books, which is awesome. La 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 lava, chicken. Correct. All right, I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go see about more coffee. Alright. There is, in fact, no coffee. However, there is also, in fact, coffee coming. It's on the stove in the kettle. Alright, we are off to the deep desert. I would agree with that, Jared. Coffee is the spice of our generation. You know what? Screw that. I'm not going to worry about going east yet. I'm going to go do the ones I already have because I don't want to try to manage this beast to go places I don't know about. There was like 4 testing stations in this direction I can hit. If I'm going to scout, I need to do it in my other Thopter. Yeah, Paul is definitely here, just not in the way that he is in the books. Although, technically, that's not true either. He is here in a way that is true to the books. Now that I really sit and think about it. It's just that a lot of people are like, is Paul the main character here like he is in the books? No, Paul is not the main character here. But Paul is here. And it is book accurate. What do you mean backpack full? My backpack is not full. Oh, I'm full up on bandages. Okay. I'm right on top of somebody's respawn, I think. Oh, I missed. Well, and also kudos to the estate and Legendary for being willing to go along with it and say, hey, that's a really good idea. We could tie it into the movies. We could tie it into the comic books, all the stuff that's being produced. You know, this is what I feel like could have happened if Christopher Tolkien had been a little more on board with adapting his father's works instead of being all pissed off that I'm really mad about all the things that have been done with my father's work since back in the day, and I'm never going to give away new rights, and I'm very unhappy that my father sold all the rights back in the 70s, and blah, 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 blah. Like, because we could have had a lot more cool Middle Earth stuff over the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years. And while, you know, it's sad that he's gone, and he contributed a lot to the Middle Earth legacy, at the same time, I honestly think that Middle Earth is in a better place for it now because it has a chance to breathe with a new generation of people to help, you know, govern it into something bigger and better. And that's where, you know, Brian Herbert's been doing an admirable job, I think, expanding the universe with Kevin J. Anderson and pushing projects like this to the forefront, new films. Filter extractor. It's one of the Swordmaster skills, Cuddy. I have no idea which one because I don't play a Swordmaster. Man, I use a bunch of those fuel cells to fuel this bitch. What's up, Deeks? Yeah, my nephew's already played before. My niece is struggling a little bit. Just because she's, it's everything she's played to date has been Switch 2 stuff. And so she's being asked to learn how to navigate mouse and keyboard, which is a very archaic form of playing games. And so she is 100% a tablet and Switch 2 child, touchscreen and controller. She's struggle bussing with the mouse and keyboard aspect of Lord of the Rings Online. But she's really deep into Lord of the Rings right now. Like, they just watched the films. My brother's reading The Hobbit to her right now, and she's very much like, the whole thing yesterday was, I want to go see Bilbo. I want to go see Bilbo. I want to see Bilbo. And we were, trying to explain towards the end of the session. It was like, well, Bilbo's technically not here at the moment. If you remember from the movies, this is the birthday party when he disappears. So my nephew's played with us before, and he's like 11, so he's played Minecraft and all sorts of other stuff. So he's definitely more already acclimated to mouse and keyboard. He's played World of Warcraft with us. But yeah, she is. The funniest thing last night was her wanting the horses to go faster. How do I make the horse go faster? And she rides rodeo. So, here, actually, where's my phone? This is the same niece who I'm gonna show you a video. She won bull riding 2 nights ago at the rodeo. Hang on. She's 7. She is a fearless little shit. Hang on. I gotta pull up a TikTok video. Because she's been riding bulls. She started off when they both participate in rodeo, but she started riding bulls when she was 4. And granted, they're small bulls, but they get bigger as they get older. Yeah, so this is she won. Hang on, I gotta move that over there. So that's my niece bull riding. She won the Pee Wee bull riding that night. So yeah, she's a trooper, but she's trying to learn how to use mouse and keyboard right now. Also, that same kid, I showed this video the other day, is out there on her 4-wheeler just shredding up doing donuts. So she's very much a ranch child, but then on Sunday nights, we're playing Lord of the Rings Online because she's obsessed with hobbits right now. What's up, Inky Z? Yeah, I don't do mouse and keyboard too much anymore if I can avoid it. Like, any game that forces me to do mouse and key, I just won't play it. I'm like, if it's 2025 and you don't give me the option to play with a controller, I'm not gonna play your game. The only games I will go back and play that still have mouse and keyboard are like Lotro and Star Wars Old Republic. And the only reason I do that is because they're very old games and they've not modernized. There you go, Deeks. I can do mouse and keyboard but can't ride a bull, so she wins. I think that's his fuel cells, if I remember correctly. I'll take all that. By the way, for those of you just tuning in, my internet is being a little poopy this morning. We've already had a couple of outages on Twitch. If it does die on Twitch or YouTube, it'll be back in a few minutes. Just be patient, please. We've got stormy weather and floods, and some days we're good during stormy season, some days we're not. This morning's been a little cranky. Yes, but this is one of the solo ones in the A band. I'm just here farming still suit schematics, trying to get a full set. I've already got the gloves, is the problem. Don't need the gloves. Do I need to drop any of this shiznizzle? I could probably drop the ore. I'm gonna hold on to the iron because I can never not have enough iron. Okay. So these are no different than the testing facilities down in Haga Basin. The only difference is this is like higher level gear. So this is the beginning of the deep desert, which is sort of like gear that prepares you for the rest of the deep desert. It's not necessary, it's not mandatory to have it, but I'm coming here and farming the pieces, and in the process I'm also getting things that I can use to sell, which help pay the taxes on my base. So what I'm trying to do is every day when I log in, I come do this run, which is like, I think it's 4 or 5. It takes me like an hour, hour and a half. Gets me 25, 30,000 credits. Which is enough to pay my taxes. And then it's about every 45 minutes, I think you can do this run. Thanks for the gifted sub over on Twitch, Schaefer's. About 5 minutes ago, I just noticed that. Thank you. We're going over here to the next one. And I need to shove some stuff in the inventory of my big old beast. Specifically, non-stackable items. Yep, if you're at your home base, Jiren, you go to your sub-fief station, your console, and it will tell you how many days in the top right of your screen. It'll tell you how many days you have left. Same place you go to do like power management and all that stuff. Go to your advanced sub-fief, that little round floaty disc thing, click on it, and in the top right of your screen, it'll show you how many days you have left to pay taxes. And in the bottom left, where my head is, it'll tell you how much you owe. And I bet coffee's ready. Which I'll have to go get. Yeah, I'm in the deep desert right now, Rubesar. Doing a quick testing station run. See if I can't get a few still suit pieces. Or one of two. Because I only need the helm and the chest. But no dice. So I did get the gloves, but I already have the gloves. But plus side is I can go sell those gloves at the broker, or I can stick them in the chest if the guild members need them. I don't hear any voices at the moment. We just went and did some Imperial testing stations this weekend. I think 3 of us went, doing the same thing I'm doing right now. My only objective with the deep desert so far has been to go prove all the trolls wrong and make YouTube content around crybabies, which is quite profitable. I won't put a ton of time in the deep desert until they start implementing like the solo and small group stuff in the lands red. That's when I'm going to get super interested and start wanting to contribute more and more. The name of this still suit set? Oh, it's not on me. It's like Dune or something like that. I have a piece in the assault thopter, but I'm not wearing it right now. Oh, looky there. I just got the Mark V compactor, which I will 100% be making as soon as I get back to the base. Fuck yeah. That's one I will keep for sure. Purple Tier 5 compactor. I can't remember which one of these is the one that's out, the way out. I think it's this one. Por favor. Gracias. Saturnine. Thank you, Badger. That is indeed the one. Saturnine. Yep, Nicholas J. All of the Tier A deep desert testing stations are built for solo players. I did it in tier 5 gear, and I'm still in mostly tier 5 gear. Actually, this entire set is tier 5. This is a tier 5 heavy armor set with tier 5 weapons. I believe once you get to the B ones, those get a little bit those are struggle busing. I haven't tried to do those yet, but I have seen guild members talk about trying to solo the B ones and not being able to do it without help. So. I can't remember if there's one more. Yes, there's one more. Thank you, Ben. I'm keeping that compactor. Oh no, I'm already full of loot. That's not good. No! Alright, we'll have to be a little more conscious of what we loot in this next one. But that I'm going to be making for myself. That's way cool. Chris just brought me a fresh cup of hot coffee. So settle in, kids. We got at least another 2 hours left. I'm going to do at least 3 hours today, and then I'm probably going to go stop and grill up some food. And then I may or may not do another afternoon stream. I would imagine so, Badger. I haven't scouted the eastern section, so I know there's more. There's like another 4 or 5 quadrants over there, so there's probably at least another 2 or 3 Imperial testing stations on the eastern side that I haven't ever gone and done. I've got 4 right out of the gate going west, so I did these 4 yesterday, and I've done these today, and it seems to be a pretty quick, like hour-long, if an hour. It might only be about 45 minutes for me to do all 4 of these and then head back. Now, I remember this room being pretty deadly. There was like 5 or 6 mobs when I was down here yesterday. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I hate those things. Yep, here they are. Oh, you bitch. Okay. that chest. I don't think I got this chest. Yeah, I've got the gloves and the boots. I need the mask and the chest. Yeah, I may check the exchange later today and see how much it costs. Because my taxes are covered, so... if I have some extra coin, I may go ahead and just buy the rest of the set. We'll see. Depends on how much they cost. But that is getting lucky if you got multiples. This is only my second time running these, though, so I feel like I'm still pretty early in the grind, so to speak. I'm air quotes on the grind. Like, I just ran these for the first time yesterday. That's right, made the good loot flow. Dude, I was really jealous of his, in Lotro last night. So last week, I didn't spend the points because I was like, I don't need that set. But it was on sale, and I told my brother, I was like, you should get that cosmetic set because it's got a bunch of booster stuff for your character. And he went ahead and got it. If I had known that it had that really badass mount, like cosmetic mount, I totally would have spent the Lotro points. But I was like, oh, I'm good. I don't need anything. And now, when I went and looked at it last night, it was no longer on sale, and I was like, no, I'm not going to spend 1,800 coins. There's some really cool cosmetic. I mean, yes, Lotro is dated. It's definitely dated these days, but it's still a damn good game. I think the most important thing is if you can get enjoyment out of it, even when it's dated. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Somebody had a heavy. There he is. Of course, I poisoned myself. I don't need that. Well, I got 2 of the compactors. Still no mask or body. Does anyone know if the market change has already... I can't remember if the market change has already gone live where you can put things on the market direct from your Ornithopter storage, or is that coming later? I know it was on the patch list, but I don't know if it's this patch or an upcoming patch. I think that was the last testing station here. Yeah, because we can go out now. Go back to Arakeen. Either way. Fresh coffee. Do it, lady. Do it. Do it on your birthday. Or something. Alright, so that must be a forthcoming patch then. Are jolly. I knew it was coming. I didn't know if it had already made it in this patch or not. Which means before I get out of here, let's go ahead and do some rearranging. Is that like a blood thingy? Yeah. Armor mannequins would be cool for the home base. Oh, I may be in the wrong. Nope. Ah! Hang on. I am at the right one, but I have to back out now. There we go. Alright. I should be able to sell some of the other stuff right here really quick.
Oh, hey there, friend. Looking for anything special?
I wish you sold sync charts for a lot less than you do, sweetie. Oh, you won't buy everything.
Welcome back.
Honestly, I should be good on taxes, but I'm going to keep selling stuff for the moment. Although, the demand for that was so low, I might be better off selling it back at Pinnacle Station. The reason duraluminum is so much quicker than aluminum is because you've already done the processing with aluminum. So all they're doing is having you combine aluminum with the crystals, which you have had to spend a ton of time doing. So therefore, it's sort of it's a quickie, because you've already put the time in. Yeah, I don't see the option here either. I can only pull from my backpack, so that's definitely something where they still haven't added it yet. These don't even have a price. Saturnine. No item found. Mask? Also no item found. I'll be damned. Okay. If you need them, sure. For some reason, I was thinking everybody had the gloves already. Did it put them back in my inventory? It might not have. The only crappy part is I just had to eat that 1,000 Solari. I wish they didn't make you do that. Like, if you cancel the order, you should be able to get your Solari back. That's kind of a shitty deal. Let's see. Compactor research. Oh yeah, I just need the face mask and the body. Oh, was I not looking for schematics? I thought I was looking at the schematics. Thanks for the gifted subs, Gerard. Also Schaefer's as well over on Twitch. Let me go back to the... Hang on. I thought I was looking at... I was looking... They need to work on the on the auction hall. Thank you, Badger, for reminding me that I was looking for pieces, not for the blueprints, and I actually want the blueprints. I want an ability to search as well. I want to be able to type a search bar in the market category. So unique schematics. And then I have to scroll down when I really just want to be able to look for the thing I want. Thankfully it's alphabetical, so here we go. Garment. No items found. Please check back later. Mask. No items found. Nope. So. I will hear no bad words against my Atreides variants. Thank you very much. Y'all are Harkonnen traitors. So. You can take those Harkonnen lies and shove them where the sun don't shine. I did not find any schematics, Slacker, unfortunately. Nor are there any on the broker. So, hopefully I make some coin, though. I did get a really cool compactor, and I had got a couple of extra things to sell on the broker, so hopefully I'll make some coin. But yeah, I did not find the mask or the breastplate. Deep Desert comes through tonight, I think, so I've only got today to do the rotation, and then they might be gone for who knows how long, because I don't know what's going to be in those chests starting tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Because the loot does change every week. fuck did it stick me? Okay, that's gonna look cool when he gets it done. If he's building a base across that gap, and he's gonna build it across to the other side right here, and have like a bridge across the top, that's pretty cool. That's looking good. That's your base, Transcend? Oh, very nice. Very nice. Looking good.
Still alive, are you?
Okay, we are selling the buggy. We're selling all this stuff. Man, the demand is down today. The demand was like 90% yesterday, and today the demand is down 50%.
Still alive, are you? Still alive, are you?
All right. So I did 4, and I made just over 21,000 credits. Yesterday I did 5, and made about 25,000, 26,000. So it seems we're on course. That's my taxes essentially. Run 5 or 6 testing stations in row A. My taxes are paid. Alright, sticking those gloves in the chest. Alright. I usually do as well. However, I'm wanting to make sure I have plenty to take care of my taxes. So I have been spending the last 2 sessions running the math on those testing stations to see how much I'm getting from selling the things, so that I know what I need to do at the very minimum. If I have no other way of earning money, can I run testing stations and make enough to pay my taxes? And the answer is yes. I've done it twice now, and it's been roughly the same amount of money each time, so. It's about 5,000 per is what I'm netting out of those, plus schematics that can sell for nothing or something. When you're building, yes, the plastone stuff runs out fast when you're building. That's right, Toombs. And it runs out right at peak creative moments. You're like, oh, we're gonna do this. That happened to me yesterday. I was up there doing the interior decorations, and I placed the bed and 2 chests, and then it ran out of granite, and it was like, fuck, no. All right, it is on the long, slow grind of creating 555 cobalt pastes. So, I probably need to go harvest some more jasmium at some point. I'm not very motivated to do it right now. Somebody said the Deep Desert's resetting Eastern in 17 hours, which means I'm on Central, so it'll be my servers will reset tonight. So I'm not going to worry about surveying the rest of that, because I'll need to make the run and survey tomorrow. Oh, I should check how much cash I'm up to now, because I had spent a bunch the other day. Alright, so we're back up to 150,000. Okay, because I had spent 60,000. So we're almost to where I was before I bought the skin for the Atreides. So essentially, actually, I made 55,000 credits between yesterday and today. Doing 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 3, and then I did 7, 8, 9, 10. I've done like 10 testing stations, so like 5,000 per is roughly that. Yeah. Plus I sold a little thing for like 7,000 in the broker. So yeah, I've made about 5,000 per testing station in raw credits. Okay. Alright. I'm good. Ooh, one thing. Let's look, because I got that new compactor. What does it take to make that bad boy? That right there, the compactor Mark V. The only thing I'm lacking is 37 duraluminum ingots. How many can I make? I need 37? Spice blow! Oh, fuck it, let's just make a max. And let's go get some radiation stuff. there's nobody at the blow, we'll get some blow. Usually these blows get hit pretty hard and pretty fast, so. I don't really need any spice at the moment, so. I got 12 melange yesterday. It's enough to make whatever things I need for the absolute immediate future. Oh, this one might be free right at the moment. Well, I know what I'm doing. Come on, get out. Oh, this is gonna be one of those stupid things where it's not wanting to. Wasted precious time. Let's not get greedy because I wasted a whole bunch of time. Come on now. Sometimes it's really frustrating how you have to be very specific about the. Don't risk it, don't risk it, don't risk it. There might be a little more left. All right, that was a sidetracked. All right, Slacker, thanks for the gifted subs over on Twitch. Appreciate it. Sorry, I can't do anything when I'm doing those. I have to hyper focus when I'm harvesting spice because I do not want to lose my thopter. So, thank you for the gifted subs. Yeah, resets during downtime. Dope Fishy asks, "Are you full time as a streamer?" I am a full time streamer. Yep, 3.5 years. So I'm into my 4th year doing this full time. The worm's upset. A little bit. Just a little bit. There have been internet issues, Jorn, because of the storms and hurricanes. So Twitch has dropped, I think, 3 times this morning. YouTube has been steady. But we're definitely having internet issues because of the storms. It's called internet, guys. I can't control it.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Wait, is it the sandstorm or the Coriolis storm that it's warning me about? Yeah, it's an internet issue, guys. Sorry. Like I have crappy internet because of the backwoods and its storms, so but I know Twitch has dropped like 3 times today, I think. Maybe 4. I haven't checked in a little bit because I've been busy doing the I was doing the spice blow and then the testing station, so I haven't actually been able to duck out and see. But I know it went down earlier during the Death Stranding 2 stream, and it cut out earlier during the Dune Awakening stream. Yeah, whatever's been happening today has been affecting Twitch, but not YouTube, so. Yeah, I think that was just a Coriolis storm update, maybe. You see that right there, Hobo Star? It's going down right now because I'm outside. When it gets to the 3/4 mark, don't be in the radiation zone. As soon as it hits 3/4, get out. You can also notice that here, it'll have a radiation leader. It'll tell you, I'll pop it up when we get back in there. But it'll tell you what level is deadly. And it's an instant death if it gets too high. It's not like you get a gradual warning. It's going to start ticking as soon as we enter. Right there, it'll start ticking. See that warning up on screen? It's ticking upwards. Don't let it get to 150,000 because that's instant death. I let it get to about 3/4 and then I get out. I usually run in, harvest 3 nodes, and then get back out again. But I'm very risk adverse, so I usually leave myself plenty of time to spare. And then I leave. Like so. Speaking of Twitch chat, I think Twitch just reset because it looks like it just went down and came back. So, all right, we're gonna head back to the main base now. It is a variant, yes. I have the Atreides variants. What was that? That was a shipwreck. I don't care about shipwrecks. Yeah, it looks like it reset, Yorin. Like it cut and then it restarted, so. I wish I could control it. It's just it's something between my backwoods internet. Sometimes it's like Streamlabs issues, some labs it's Twitch issues, but I can tell you it's definitely internet related because I have 2 connections and our cable. So I'm on the fiber connection right now, right? The cable connection has been completely dead for today's day 3. It was up for a little bit last night, but the download was absolute shit and the upload was iffy. And then it went down again in the middle of the night. So it's been completely down. Chris was at her family's house yesterday. None of them have had internet for like 3 days. And they're on the cable company. So the cable, what's going on is I don't ever share the map of where I live because I don't want psychopaths showing up to my house. But where I live is about 3 hours away from the city where all the server hubs are. So between us and the city, there's one fiber line, there's one backbone that goes, and it's buried underground alongside of the highway. And when we have hurricane season, which we have right now, there's a lot of flooding that happens. And so those conduits are sometimes in disrepair and get water inside of them. And then we have connectivity issues between here and the city. And also that 3-hour stretch, like we had gale force winds last night when I was sitting down to play Lord of the Rings with my brother. And you'll get like the lights in the house start flickering because the power lines are doing this because of the gale winds. So I just always remind new people that I live in the middle of nowhere, and so as a result, I don't have gigafiber, rock solid, perfect connection. I have power outages and
Sector weather alert. A
issues.
large
Thankfully,
sandstorm is
the
approaching.
fiber company that I have, and thankfully I can even have fiber, because when we first moved here, the first year and a half we were here, I only had the cable company. And I used to have to just sit here and suck it up. Matter of fact, for those of you who've been around long enough, you can remember I would stream World of Warcraft on my 4G. I would literally set up a hotspot on my phone and I would stream using my 4G when I would have prolonged internet outages. But the local fiber company started offering fiber. It's a co-op place about 2 years ago. And thankfully, they're usually, like, at the very least, I'm able to stream right now. Even though there might be some connectivity issues on Twitch today. And if you go back 2 weeks ago, it was YouTube that was dropping. We had like 3 days where YouTube kept dropping like if you remember correctly, actually it was the first day Dune Awakening launched. Was the first day. It was June 5th. That was day 1 of our rainy season. And I started off the day, we had 700 people in the live stream. My internet went out like an hour into the stream. Came back, we had 350 people. 45 minutes later, internet went out again. Come back, 200 people watching. An hour and a half later, internet goes out again. Come back, 120 people. And I was very frustrated because that was the biggest audience I had ever had, and had my internet stayed solid, we would have had a very, very, very big day. We still had a very big day.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
And then like 2 days in a row after that, Twitch was rock solid, but YouTube was like cutting out every 45 minutes to an hour and a half. It would just drop because of the internet, while Twitch would stay solid. So right now, it seems to be Twitch that is hiccuping. 2 days ago, Twitch also hiccuped for a couple of times, but yesterday we were rock solid all day. So it's weather. Exactly, Blackthorn. We're a long way from town. City. We're in town. We're a long way from the city. Excuse me. Chris and I have joked about it. It's like, if we ever get, if I ever get big, we'll probably, buy something. It just depends on the priorities too. Like, I'm not like a lot of the younger streamers who want to try to become massive and famous and make millions of dollars. I already own all my shit, my property, and I have very small. I'm towards the latter part of my life, so I don't need to get big. Like, it's like, if we get big, do we move to the city, or do we just say fuck it and speed up our plans to buy the mountain property and disappear, and just go write books for the rest of my life? Because I know some people, I think like, what was his name? Thor, the pirate software dude. He talked about that. When he got big and famous, that was the first thing him and his family did, was he moved to a property where he had gigabit service, because during his first like 7 years of streaming, he had to deal with what I deal with, which is internet outages and things like that. And then he moved, when he got big and started, making $50,000 a month or whatever, he moved the family to a property where he could have rock solid internet. Just depends on your goals. I don't need any more radiation stuff. We're good on that front. weather outside is weather? I do not remember. What movie that's from. Alright. So, we're good on that front. I've got plenty of crystals now. Oh, I think I have enough to, I think we can make that thumper. Not thumper, sorry. This! The Mark V compactor. I can make this. Let's do it. Well, thank you, Uncle Pac-Man. Appreciate it. I always tell everybody, too, if you're new here, make sure to watch in both places, because you never know which one, you never know which connection's gonna hiccup today. So it's always better if you can watch both, because if you can watch on both, then you will always be okay. And then if both go down, you'll know that something's wrong, because I'll disappear off both. All right, so we have deposited that, and that. I think the only thing left at this point is I need a boatload more of duraluminum, which means I need to go farm some more aluminum and wait for water production. Yep, the homestead is in Central America. Well, Latin America. It's North America, but we have a homestead down on the border out by Palenque, Mexico, close to Guatemala. Matter of fact, just put out a homestead video this morning on the homestead channel. Chris and I did an update from our morning walk down to the river. I don't need to repair that. We are in the middle of hurricane season right now. We don't actually live in the hurricane band. We're in the middle of both of the bands. So we get tropical weather from June to October every year. Lots of storms. There was a prize. Well, shit, I should have paid more attention. Oh, you know what? I should go ahead and grab granite. I forgot. I need a lot of granite for the interior decorations we're doing on the base. So let's grab some as we're out here looking for aluminum and basalt. Oh, I can't get it from this angle. Man, I can't wait till they add the hotkey to switch between seats. That's gonna be so nice to be able to just hit a button instead of having to do the down like radial menu every time I want to switch seats. Yeah, Twitch dropped again. Looks like it hasn't come back yet either. I may have to restart the whole We'll give it a few minutes. If Twitch doesn't come back, I may need to just do a reset of the modem and everything. See if that helps. I wouldn't say that it's a Twitch issue. I would say it's probably something on my storm-ridden end. It could be something on Twitch's end, but it's one of those things where I can never diagnose it properly. Looks like it's back on Twitch at the least. Because I'll tell you one thing, I'm looking at the... It may be Twitch, because here's the thing. I'm watching the bitrate. I have not dropped... Here, I'll even show you guys. Am I allowed to show this? Here. I don't think I'll get in trouble for showing this. I don't want to get in trouble, is the thing with Twitch. And Twitch is silly about not showing certain things. So I'm looking at my bitrate, because you can see your bitrate on Twitch, and I have been rock solid at 6,000 the whole time. So even in the dropouts, I've not seen a dip. Normally, if it was internet related, I would assume that you would see a dip. Like it would go from 6,000 down to like nothing, like the internet dropped out. But I'm seeing rock solid across the top. It's between 5,911 and 6,000. Like I'm seeing it's very stable. So if I had to assume that it's something beyond my storm-ridden internet, I don't, because I'm using the automatic servers for the ingress, so I'm just streaming to whatever is the closest Twitch server. So it could be that the Twitch servers that I'm connecting to are having issues, but I don't see any bitrate issues, and YouTube has been rock solid all day. So I can't unfortunately change it in the middle of a stream because it won't let me select like that. I would have to completely shut the stream down and manually connect to like Austin, Texas, or one of their. And matter of fact, I don't even actually. No, I can't. I can't because I'm doing the multi-streaming, which doesn't allow me to choose. I can only choose if I'm manually running. So it may just be a Twitch thing. It happened a couple days ago too, so I'm sorry guys. YouTube's good. Like but the thing is so many people have subscriptions over on Twitch. It sucks. It genuinely sucks. to not be able to watch where you want to watch. It does look like it's back, but it's obviously dropped like 3 times in the past 2 minutes, and that's very frustrating as a viewer. It's also very frustrating to me as a streamer because I lose audience members. Because people are like, fuck this, I'm gonna go watch Co Carnage because his internet's good. And I'm like, I love Co Carnage. If you have to go watch someone, please go watch Co Carnage. But at the same time, don't go watch Co Carnage. I don't want you to go anywhere. But y'all know what I mean. Good luck, Howie. I was lucky and got 1 blow in the basin last night, and I got another blow just a little while ago, so I have enough for my immediate needs. I got enough blow to keep me going. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the base, and I'm gonna grab another cup of coffee, and then we're gonna maybe go do another, maybe we'll go do another deep desert testing station run. It's been 45 minutes, hasn't it? I haven't paid attention. I should have checked the clock. I feel like it's been 45 minutes. That ought to be more than enough granite. Yeah, I've seen a spice blow in the deep desert, but I haven't tried to harvest one. But I do have that really nice new compactor that we're going to have to put to use. Somewhere. Well, at least I got a nice stockpile of fuel cells. Oh, I have spice. I can pause it. Nice. I can refine another 5. I have 12 for now. Alright, all I have left is the duraluminum for that large water cistern. So that'll be... I don't think I'm going to be able to get that crafted today, but it will be soon. Two for one refining in the deep desert? I don't know anything about that. Okay. Yay, I get to ban someone from my Discord for breaking the #1 rule of don't spam promotional shit. Look at this. Look at this. This stuff drives me nuts when this happens. So this person joined. Here, I'm going to show you guys. It's like the #1 rule of Discord is like don't spam commercial shit. So like we go down here, and this is an archive channel for like our own work on our tabletop game, which we published a couple years back. And this person just joins the Discord and immediately jumps into the artwork channel, which is an archive channel, and is like, hey guys, check out my stuff. And so I'm gonna say, we're gonna ban you, breaking server rules. We're gonna remove all of your posts in case you've spammed something somewhere else. And bye-bye, because they're not supposed to do that kind of stuff. Anyway. God, that's frustrating. That's why you don't, we talked about this yesterday, the day before. Someone was saying they streamed for the first, was it Stoic? Stoic or Slacker or somebody in chat said they streamed for the first time in like forever, and they immediately got spammed in their chat with people trying to link to their art stations and shit. Alright. I'm going to go get some more coffee. And then I'm going to move on to something else. I don't know what we're doing yet. But I need a lot more duraluminum, and it's going to be a while until I can get this. I'm probably going to run some more deep desert, or I might... There's no point in me going out and... Gray says it was me. Stoic? Gotcha, okay. It's really annoying. The worst is my Gmail, because I have my Gmail public. And that thing gets hit every day with people wanting me to sell me... the #1 is video editing and thumbnail services. And I would like to have a video editor at some point, but I don't need a thumbnail person. Thumbnails are easy. Takes me no time at all. I did thumbnails for years. I've been doing my own shit in Canva for God, I think I've been using Canva since it launched, which has got to be like 10 years ago, because we used to use it for the travel blog. Oh, did we just crash? That might be my internet if we just crashed. Let me check. I don't know. Twitch looks good. YouTube looks good. I'm checking the Dune Discord service alerts. Nothing in the service alerts. My internet pooped. I don't know what connection I'm on, to be honest with you. Technical difficulties. Let me go see this here real quick. I don't even know what connection it was running on. No, it's definitely that was a me thing. I think I'm gonna have to shut the game down completely because it is not wanting to let me. Yeah, I'm on the backup. Well, let's just see. We'll restart and see what happens. Matthew White says I must get scammed for my 3D sculpted designs. You just gotta be careful. Don't click links from anybody you don't know. If somebody comes to your YouTube server, or excuse me, your Discord server, and immediately spams a link. The other one they try to do, this has been only this year. This year's been the first time I've been hit up. They're just bots, but they're trying to catfish. So it's always the profile of some hot, sexy girl, and they'll send you a Discord message or a Facebook message or an Instagram message or a TikTok message or whatever message. It'll be a DM. It'll be some type of a DM, and it'll always be something like, "Hey, honey. Hey, sweetie. You know, can you give me your link to your whatever?" And it's like, bitch, my links are public. If you need a link to my stuff, go find it for yourself. I never ever interact. Don't ever interact with those who are anybody out there listening. Never ever ever interact with someone who sends you a message with a profile picture of because it ain't legit. It ain't legit. Ain't nobody out there. Ain't nope. It doesn't work like that, kids. That's not the way the world works.
I dream.
Ain't nothing true in this world, but death and taxes and poontang ain't free. So if anybody comes to you offering poontang for free, you are about to be had, sir. But we were talking about the other day, and it's like I wonder how many people actually fall for that stuff and click the links and follow through and engage with that stuff. Oh, look at this hot person they're reaching out to me on Discord. I'm gonna score. It's like, dude, you're about to lose all your stuff. All right, looks just a little hiccup in the internet apparently. Good thing it happened while I was back at my base. I was supposed to go get coffee, wasn't I? And I keep forgetting to do it. So let me go get more coffee, and we will be back. And I think I might go do Deep Deserts again or something, because I want my other schematics, man. welcome, Blackthorn, and thanks for the cash. Just a little bit of a... I didn't even think to ask if anybody needed that. I just was like, I'm going to take this and sell it. I don't think I'm going to take my big Thopter. I think we are going to take the small Thopter and just only loot the schematics. I don't really care about anything else. Not at the moment. I just want to try to get a couple of schematics out of there, man. Moolah! Oh, I'm having all sorts of internet issues today, Desmarius. My characters, I'm having all sorts of like rubber banding and Twitch outages and living in the storms. I do have 2 connections, yep, but unfortunately my backup connection has completely been down for 2 days now. So, as my mama taught me when I was a kid, you get what you get, you don't throw a fit. I need a helmet and a breastplate. Roll with the punches, exactly. And worst case scenario, like this is something that a lot of the new people don't necessarily realize is like before I transitioned to streaming full time, I did content creation full time. And what do I mean by that? I mean that what I used to do is rather than spend 6 to 8 hours a day streaming, I used to spend 8 to 10 hours a day doing video creation on YouTube. That's what I did for the first 2 years of the channel. And so whenever the internet's poopy and I'm not able to stream, it's not that big of a deal because all I do is I turn around and I go make videos and upload them. Because even if the internet is poopy and I can't stream for a day or something, I can still go upload half a dozen videos and still make my paycheck, you know? That's the thing, Blackthorn. Like the row A is like I've only had to kill mobs maybe 50% of the time because most of the time they're clear. So I just run through and grab the chests. Yeah, the only days I really stress, Damaris, is there are a handful of days out of the year when we lose power. Those days are the days when I get grumpy because it's like, I can't do anything when there's no electricity. I already sold a compactor schematic. Very cool. So, you know, those are the days when I completely lose electricity are the days when I'm just like, rah! And those are the days when I pull out my Kindle Paperwhite, which I hardly ever use anymore, and I plug away at Children of Dune, which I've been reading for like a fucking year. I read it years ago, but then I literally have been plugging away at Children of Dune for like over a year now. The only time I pick up that thing and read anymore is when the power is completely out. Play with the chickens, or Chris and I will often, if the weather's not bad, we will just go visit her family in the next town over. It's like, well, as long as it's not bad weather and it's not too late in the day, just we literally hop on a van and cruise over to the next town. Takes about 30 minutes to get there and go hang out for the afternoon. I also have the Expanse novels on the Kindle. I just don't read that much anymore because I spend all my time in front of the computer. You have to be flexible, otherwise you die of a heart attack or stress. I didn't used to be so flexible. But many years of living down here and enjoying plenty of Santa's salad has helped me roll with the tide. As soon as I wrap up today's stream, which is going to be here in a little bit, I actually am going to go help Chris cook. She actually just ran to the fruit stand and she's getting garlic and onions because we're grilling up some chicken burgers, and I've got a big old side of chicken livers that I'm going to fry up with garlic and onions, butter. I'm probably going to make some French fries. I don't feel quite motivated enough to do onion rings today. I'll probably just do French fries. Some salad on the side. And probably record another homestead video because I wanted to do an update on the chickens and the baby chickens and the baby ducks. We also published a homestead video this morning. If you guys haven't checked that out, it is linked in the Discord and on all of these social media channels and in the YouTube posts section. Showing off the river now that the river's filling back up again where we live. Just a quick little update. Just double check that there's no cash in these chests. We'll take the cash. Actually, I will take all of those. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to grab my armor. I came out here in my still suit. I may have to be careful. I did not think that through. I was just like, let's go! No, I don't care about that. Dude, chicken livers are the best. I have had rabbit liver, yep. And frog legs. Where I grew up, frog legs are the big thing. Oh shit, I'm gonna get, no, that was my bad, that was my fault. My fault. Oh, that was my bad. I totally fucked that up. Dude, there's a huge difference of when you don't have armor. Holy crap. I got a little too aggressive with the, Dude, come over here towards my turret, damn it. Let me see if I can tag this guy. There we go. God damn, that was a little tight. Reminder, note to self, do not come in here without armor ever again. Respawn beacons inside of the testing stations? That's not bad. Because you can also use the,
Huh?
I see someone.
you can also use your vehicle, and my vehicle's parked right outside, so. Oh, hate those things. Somebody up top here was gonna hit me with a shot. Ooh. Hummingbird wing module. Can I only make one of those though? Like, would I need... Oh, it does 6. So is that specifically for the attack ornithopter? Interesting. Those are actually, that's worth, you know, I'm not, you know, that might be one I sell. I don't know that I necessarily care about that at the moment. At the moment. I bet I could make buku coin with that. Because I'm never going to do PvP with my assault thopter, so I could give two shits about speed or maneuverability on it. I'll have to think about that one. I'll either use it or I'll sell it. Yeah, it said 6, so it's a full set for the assault. I'm assuming you could also use that for your scout thopter, though. Just use 4 of the... Four of the 6, or is it only for assault thopter? You paid 20k, Slacker? Okay. That's true, Badger. Stations have a respawn point when you enter them in any case. If I could put them on my Scout Thopter, that might be kind of fun. Yeah, there's no... You guys have no rush, Suracinth. Oh, you just reminded me about caves. I still haven't done any of the caves here. Well, since the deep desert will be up tomorrow, what I'll be doing at the very first thing is I'm going to come out here with my Scout Thopter and I'm going to scan the entirety of row A and probably the entirety of row B so that we know what testing stations there are. And I would like to see about doing some more scheduled deep desert stuff with guild members over the week and weekend. I would like to go into some of the deeper ones that are more challenging. Because, you know, doing these on my own is great and everything else, but wouldn't mind pushing a little bit of challenge. Just to see what else we can get gear-wise. I can't remember if we need a pentashield. I think the pentashield's up here. I don't think we have to go left. I think this is the quickie one because it's just literally in and out. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing some this weekend for sure, Transcend. I already have the boots. Badger says just check the fabricator, and it says the hummingbirds ones are for assault medium ornithopter, so doubt they go on the scout. Yes, Barbarossa, and also multiple people have confirmed it. Like the deeper you go, the more challenging the deep desert testing stations get, and the deeper ones have rooms where you get locked in and there's waves of mobs. There's 7 waves that you have to do, and those ones are kind of, I don't want to say impossible to solo, but very, very difficult to solo those because you're stuck in a room with 7 waves of mobs and they come over and over and over, and it's designed for groups of 4. That's what the developers have literally stated on multiple occasions. So I don't know which testing stations those are. I don't know at what line you start to get into those. But I know the A row is all solo. I think someone in chat the other day was, or someone from the guild was saying the other day, they went to the B row and got into trouble in one of the B ones. 5 hours to the deep desert reset, something like that. Yeah. Well, I think technically it's whenever they do the server reset, which is at like 1 o'clock tonight, which is more than 5 hours out. Oops, wrong guy, wrong NPC.
Welcome. Would you like to deposit or withdraw some?
I'd like to cut that mustache off, sir, so you can learn how to talk. Those don't even have a price on them at the moment. The boots aren't very expensive. I'll see if these sell. If they don't sell, I'll use them for myself. Unique schematics. Let's see if anybody's put the Saturnine chests. Oh, there's plenty of boots up. Still no chest. Still no mask. Plenty of boots though. Well, says I. Probably need to go look up too. Somebody's probably got a list somewhere of where I need to go to find all of the houses for the lands rads so that I can actually have all of them unlocked and available. Because I've only, I think I've only found like half of them. Because I found a couple down in the Rift. Like they're all over the place. And I think you have to physically talk to every single one of them to be able to like unlock their tasks. And I think you have to go to them to physically claim the tasks too. Man, all I'm really excited about is I know when we were doing the story was that they mentioned going to meet Stilgar and Chani like multiple times, and I just cannot wait to actually have that story update hit the server.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm.
Look at that. Perfect time to get back to my base. Sandstorm on the run. Stoic says need to make a solo guild because they can't find any. Yep, it's the way to do it. I'll answer that in a minute, Cryptic. Let me get back to my house. Because that's a good question with a really interesting answer that we can chat about. Let's see here. That'll be a good way to wind down the stream today because I do got to go help
Sector
Chris
weather
cook.
alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
But we could chat about that. Let me get a pin. Yeah, the official Discord's a great place to look for a guild for sure. But finding, something that's right for you is also going to be tricky. So we are at 302. So, Cryptic Man over on Twitch just asked the question, can a person start streaming in their later years and still make money to retire on with no experience with streaming? So, yes and no. This will be an interesting conversation. This will get clipped out on YouTube later on, so for those of you watching this on YouTube after the fact, daily streams on YouTube and Twitch, you want to tune in live so you can ask your own questions and get answers like this. So the reality with streaming is that no matter who you are, anybody can do it. You don't necessarily have to show your face. There are people who have been successful at doing it without showing their face. It's better if you do show your face because that creates a parasocial relationship with the audience, which generates, in terms of long-term revenue, it generates revenue because it's generating views, it's generating viewers, it's generating watch time, all of which translates into ad revenue for whatever platform you're streaming on, whether it's Twitch, Kick, YouTube, etc. If you try to start doing it now, you are late to the game. I was late to the game. I started streaming. I started doing content creation about 3.5 years ago for myself. I had been doing it for clients for years. I was 10 years late, if you look at it that way. Guys like Co-Carnage and Ninja and insert big name streamer here. Those guys had already been doing it for 10 years before I started doing it. They all got started when they were in their 20s, when streaming was just getting going. Many of them were streaming on platforms that no longer exist because things have changed over the years. So the short version of that is that anyone can do it. It doesn't require a lot of hardware or software. You don't have to show your face. It's better if you do. But now we get into the nitty-gritty. I don't know your specific income requirements or where you live. So I don't know your cost of living. I don't know what debt you have. I don't know any of those things. So the answer, can you retire with no experience streaming? I don't know. Do you have $500,000 in debt that you have to pay off first? That's that could be a factor. While I don't agree with everything he says, Asmongold had an interesting take on this a few months back where he said something along the lines of, if you're not making $100,000 a year as a streamer and you've been doing it for like 3 to 5 years, you just need to stop doing it. And I don't agree with that. I agree, there were parts of his take that I did agree with, but that's the parts that I would agreed with were not relevant to this conversation. The relevant part is this. I've been doing this 3.5 years. I do not make $100,000 a year. I do make a full-time living on this, but I also have a unique situation in that I own everything that I have. So I own my land, I own my house, I have no credit card debt, I have no car payments, I have zero. My wife and I have zero debt. Chris and I have zero debt. We paid cash for this house and land, and we own it outright. We have no debt. That is a big win in terms of being able to do what I do full time when I don't have the numbers that a lot of other people have. I'm going to look him up on YouTube really quick because, or not YouTube, we're going to look him up on Twitch. We showed this guy the other day, and I have to go find his name because he had a really good interesting story because his journey to full-time content creation I believe he said it took him 12 years of part-time on YouTube before he was going to before he was able to go full-time. And it took him like, oh, I would have to go look at the posts again. Because he mentioned he's been doing it for like 16 or 18 years now. And it was 12 years before he was able to go full-time. And I think it took him 16 years to get to 100,000 followers. And then it only took him 2 years to go from 100,000 to like 3 million followers on YouTube. And so some of it is just accumulative, and then you'll hit a tipping point where you break the top. And I'm going to go see if I can't find his posts really quick. This guy right here. Yeah, Dino Roman. Here, I can unplug my phone. This is actually the one he was talking about, where he talked about his journey. 16 years to get 100,000 subs is what it took him. 16 years to get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. But then once he hit 100,000, he got, and also Pirate Software had like 15,000 on YouTube, had been streaming on Twitch for 7 years, I think is what it was, and he was up to like 300 to 400 a day live viewers. And then after 7 years, he started producing a ton of YouTube shorts. Those went viral, and his YouTube channel went from 15,000 to 2 million people in a year. And his streams went from 300 to 400 people live to 15 to 20,000 live. And so he had an explosive, suddenly burst within a year or two. Same thing with Dino. So those things can happen. Those are kind of unicorn situations. Most people you're gonna have to build up. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, because the debt situation is one thing. Because Dino, as an example, he needed to work a side job for 16 years before he was able to make enough money on YouTube and with streaming to be able to quit his day job and go full-time streaming and content creating. I did not have to wait 16 years. Chris and I bought this place. My channel got monetized. We moved here, and I immediately went full-time. It took me a year and a half to start making enough money to make more than what we needed to spend on our monthly expenses. So the first year and a half that I did content creation and streaming, the first year and a half that I did this, I was spending money out of my savings account to cover my cost of living, at least partially. But I had saved up a chunk and set it aside to cover those expenses, so I was covered. Within a year and a half, I was making enough money to pay my bills and put money in the bank. And now I'm 3.5 years in, and we make a comfortable middle-class existence. But it's all about, for me, I'm technically, if I wanted to, I could probably retire. I'm 45. I could probably retire. I don't have enough right now to retire comfortably. So, and I don't trust the government to pay my pension, so, which is 20 years away anyway. So, I still do this because I love this, and it's something I love video games, so I have no problems doing this. So, let's talk about the next part of this. Whether you're Dino and it takes you 16 years, or whether you're me and it takes you 3.5 years, before I did this for a living, I worked in marketing, and I helped build brands, and I worked in influencer management, and I worked as a content creator and influencer in the travel space. And I've also founded 2 game studios, built an MMO, launched a tabletop game. I've done a bunch of stuff, published 25 million words online. I've done a bunch of books. I've done a lot of shit. And I've helped build a lot of brands, and I have helped guide a lot of brands to success. My resume is online. Google me, find out more information as you feel free. Every single brand that we have ever consulted on or helped build has taken 2 to 4 years, between 2 and 4 years, to become financially viable. However, out of it's hundreds at this point, out of the hundreds of brands that I have helped over the years, I would say it's probably in the 5% range are the amount of those businesses that are still working today. Because most people and most companies and most brands will give up after several years because it's not always what it's cracked up to be. It's hard work. So if you're going to work for yourself, you don't have the security blanket of 9 to 5. There's no health insurance. You have to do everything yourself. You have to be your own boss, and many people do not have the mentality to be their own boss. And especially if you're trying to save up enough money to retire on, you have to still treat this like a day job, which means it's not a 9 to 5 grind, it's a 9 to 9 grind, because you're coming into a competitive market where everybody else has already been doing it for 10 to 15 years. So if you want to become a relevant streamer, you have to be willing to grind harder than everybody else for as long as it takes to get you to where you want to be. And most people fail at that because they give up after 3 years or 5 years, even if they're seeing revenue. They'll get tired because it's like, oh my God, I'm doing this 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. I don't get to take any time off. It's a grind. It's not for the faint of heart. But if you enjoy entrepreneurship and you enjoy the freedom of setting your own hours and working on something that you love, they do say that if you love what you do, it never feels like work. But unfortunately, a lot of people have these illusions of grandeur where they think that they want to become a streamer, but then they start to get beyond the glamour of being a streamer because they look at guys like Carnage or Ninja or Shroud and like, oh, these guys are making $150,000 a month and they've got 15,000 people watching them and they got millions of followers. Yeah, and it took them a lot of sacrifice to get there. 10 plus years in most of those guys' cases. I am a very small fish. I am successful at what I do, but I do not make tens of thousands of dollars a month. I make thousands of dollars per month, and I do income reports on YouTube for those of you who actually want to get into the nitty-gritty of this. We do analytics and income reports for our channel members on YouTube. So if you're a channel member on YouTube, you can learn more about this, and we talk about the income and everything else. You're going to have to be willing to do the grind for at least 3 years before you're going to see any sort of realistic return. So where I am at right now, and it depends on the game. Like right now, we've got 60 people on YouTube, and I got about 30 people on Twitch. So we're doing about 80 people right now. My Dune Awakening streams are 80 to 100 most days. Saturdays and Sundays, that'll be like 120 to 150 because it's the weekend. I'm doing pretty good numbers with Dune Awakening for the size of my channel and for my audience. But like this morning, as an example, playing Death Stranding 2, I had 30 people. Yesterday we had 70. The day before that, we had about 40. So Death Stranding 2 is not that popular of a game. I have about half the audience that I have with Dune Awakening. The Altars was about half the audience. I have no idea what Destiny 2 is going to bring in, but generally speaking, right now, I average probably 40 to 50 people per stream on a minimum for just about every game I play, as long as I put in about 4 hours per stream. This morning we only did about 2 hours, and we were starting to get up to like 36 viewers when I went out and took a walk and did stuff. So it was a little small this morning because we didn't push it too hard. I can remember a year ago, and I was only getting about 20 to 25 people per stream. And a year before that, it was 15 people per stream. And a year before that was probably 7 people per stream. So it's been a very slow, long journey for me to get to the point where I can reliably pull in 50 viewers every single time I'm live between YouTube and Twitch. New games I'll generally see much higher for the first like 2 to 3 days, especially if it's Head Start access. We'll usually get, whatever. The Dune Awakening launch day, we had 700 people. That was abnormal. Usually my launch days are like 150 to 180. 150 is a pretty good average for like new days. That's my level. And then you go look at the guys above me, they're in the 300 to 500 per range. Most of those people have been streaming for 7 years, 5 to 7 years. I am still 3.5 years in. So I'm pretty much where I'm supposed to be for 3.5 years into streaming, getting 50 to, around 50 people per stream on average. Correct, Bubble. And Death Stranding 2 is a PS5 exclusive, which means it's a limited audience as well. So if you're comfortable not making any money for 3 years, if you're comfortable not having any people watching you for 3 years, because that's the other struggle bus, is having the mental fortitude to sit there and still do this. Hey guys, this is awesome. I'm having fun, even when you only have 2 people watching your stream. Because that's going to be your reality for the first year that you stream. Ain't nobody going to watch you because nobody knows you. It takes time to build up an audience. It takes time to build up rapport, and you have to get really good at talking to dead space, because nobody's watching, but you still have to act like people are watching, and you still have to talk like people are watching. One of the things that I learned very early on, it was a trick that I've used, is just narrate. And I learned that from a corn actress, believe it or not. I remember watching an HBO show years and years and years ago where they covered Seymour Butts and his corn production. And I remember one of the actresses said that the way she did her dialogue for every scene was she just narrated what was going on. And that has stuck with me over the years. And so how I did it was, even when I only had 2 people watching, I just narrated what was going on. You just narrate. So an example of this would be, let me go back to the game screen here. I'll show you an example, because I still do it to this day. When I'm streaming and I'm not actively talking to anybody in chat, I'll do things like this. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and we're going to go ahead and refine a little bit of aluminum. Alright, that's done. I think I'm going to go ahead and do something else now. So narrate what you're doing. That helps even if nobody's watching. And eventually people will watch, but you have to take time to build up that audience. That's sort of the basics that you need to know to stream. You just have to do it every single day. You need to be doing it for at least 4 to 6 hours a day. Better if you could do it more, because the more hours you could be live, the better it is for everybody. Multi-stream for sure. Do not strap yourself to one platform. You need to be multi-streaming. I've actually been debating adding Kick to my rotation, just because Kick is a growing platform. I'm not intimately familiar with Kick, but I know that Streamlabs, as an example, is now offering Kick as a multi-streaming. I can add it to the rotation, so I may be adding Kick at some point this summer. I have 0 presence on Kick. I don't even have an account on Kick yet, but I'll probably do it. Well, I have the benefit to that. I appreciate you saying that, Bubbleonia, but the benefit is that I had a public speaking career before I did this. So, and I had also been the head of the MMO studio and the head of marketing and influencer and travel content creator, and I had already done public-facing stuff for years before I started doing this for myself, so I was able to sort of leverage the ability to speak in front of an audience from other parts of my life. That definitely gave me a bit of an advantage in that department, because I was comfortable being on camera, comfortable speaking. I don't really get nervous too much unless I'm in front of a big crowd. I do drink a lot of coffee, which makes me jittery. And I occasionally fumble my words, but that's just part of life. But I do appreciate that. What else? I mean, but going back to the original question was, can you retire on the money from being a streamer? That is a question that I honestly can't answer without knowing, and not even, it doesn't even have to deal with knowing your financial situation, Cryptic. Like I said at the beginning of that, answering this question, if you're $500,000 in debt because of a home mortgage, 2 cars, school loans, a divorce, I don't know, like, the chances of you retiring off of streaming income, man, considering how long it takes to get to the point where you're making serious money, I don't know how old you are, I don't know any of those things. I know that for me, like looking at Dino again, Dino took 16 years before he was able to go full-time. I went full-time and was making enough money to pay my bills in a year and a half. Your house is paid for, only does car payment, you're 53. I mean, anything is possible. Look at the Skyrim grandma. Skyrim grandma started when she was like in her 70s or something, and her YouTube channel blew up. I mean, there are so many factors. You could see a very slow and steady growth, like which is what you should plan for, and then you could see an explosion. So I've talked a lot about this in my YouTube videos when we do the analytics reports, because I had already done this for other companies so often over the years, building up YouTube channels and brands. I knew going into it that it was probably going to take me at least 2 years to get to the point where I was making enough money to pay my bills. I did it in a year and a half, so I was able to shave about 6 months off my projections. But I went into it knowing that I'm going to be able to do at least this within a 3-year span of time. And so anything I did before the 3-year span of time was icing on the cake, because I was hitting my goals before that point. But I have never, ever, ever factored in luck or unicorn success. I have very trackable numbers, which it's a very respectable net growth. But the thing you're looking at is that YouTube and Twitch, you're going to do this. Some months are going to be good. Some months are going to be less good. Months are going to go like this. The only thing you could do is just every single day, one foot in front of the other, and you just keep going. And what you're looking for is net growth at the end of every single month. So if you have net followers, net income, net views, etc., then you're golden. But it does require a schedule, and the big thing is just being diligent. And I think every streamer will tell you the big thing too is going to be, and this is something that only comes with time, experimenting with different time slots until you find the time slot that works the best for you and gets you the most amount of audience. What works best for me, we're in the tail end of my time slot right now, which is, I'm actually a little bit beyond. So my sweet spot is about 8 o'clock in the morning Central Time until about 11 o'clock in the morning Central Time, which combines an Oceanic, European, and North American audience. The Oceanic are going to bed, the Europeans are getting home from work, and the North Americans are getting up and going to work. And so I'm getting a sweet spot of all three audiences. I start to taper off at about 11 noon. We're at 12:30 right now. It's like noon. And generally speaking, I have the worst viewership between like 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. And if I try to do streams at night, I don't have a massive North American audience. So if I stream at like 6 p.m. Central Time, I usually only get half of the audience that I get when I stream in the morning, because I do have an international audience. And that is something that I have worked on for years to figure out what works for me. I like to get up early, so I have an alarm at 4 o'clock in the morning. I start my streams at 4:30. I stream from 4:30 every single morning up until about 11:30 every single day. I usually do 5 or 6 hours every single morning. Take a break, come back, do a little bit after lunch, and then I'm done for the day. These days I do 6 to 8 hours of streaming every single day. The first 2 years, I only did about 2 hours of streaming every single day, but I did like 8 to 10 hours a day of video production. So I just did a shitload of YouTube videos and guides and everything else, and I would stream for a couple of hours to build up an audience, and then eventually the audience got big enough that I was able to transition over and start streaming more hours per day, because the revenue from the ads that play during the live streams pay decent, and we maintain a running subscription of, we have members on YouTube and we have subscribers on Twitch, and then those memberships and subscriptions tied into the ad revenue pay the bills. And then outside of that, I have that the Patreon doesn't do much these days. I think the Patreon probably does like $50 a month these days, because I don't promote it anymore and I don't really do much with it. But at one point I think our Patreon was doing like $300 a month, Schedule. Once you figure out the schedule that works for you, you have to just, unless you're sick and in the hospital, you need to be live. Because if you're not live, your audience will go somewhere else and they will forget about you if you're not there every single day. Not everybody. But when I talk about like trying to grow, it takes a long time to build brand loyalty with people. which means being consistently live at the same time every single day for weeks and months on end until you can convert someone to become a loyal audience member. Because if you're there and then you're not there, and then you take 2 days off, and then you come back, and they take 3 days off, and you come back, the audience isn't going to stick around. They're going to go find someone else who can be there every single day. So consistency is key. Anyway, it's totally feasible. If you're in your 50s, I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this a lot. Like, there's no such thing as being too old to find success in business. It's just a matter of finding out a niche that works for you and going from there. And this is when we get into the weeds, because then it's what are you going to be streaming? Do you like strategy games? Do you like action games? Do you like RPGs? Do you want to do variety? Do you want to pick a niche? Like, I kind of like, my niche is RPGs, but it's not entirely. Like, I also do some survival sandbox stuff. I do some shooters. Mostly it's RPGs though. So, especially, thinking Baldur's Gate, Fallout, Starfield, Rogue Trader, Pathfinder. I like RPGs. But we also do stuff like this, and Lord of the Rings Online, and Star Wars: The Republic, and MMOs and stuff. So I mean, but you just have to figure out what niche you have. So anything is possible. Expect at least 3 years to get it to the point where it would be making any sort of reasonable amount of money, and go from there. Everything else just depends. I mean, sometimes I remember watching, this has been a couple of years ago, I remember watching a guy had a meltdown on his YouTube channel because he'd been doing it for like 7 years. And he had still, after 7 years, he had built up like, I don't remember now, like 9,000 followers or something after 7 years. But his videos were only getting like 150 to 200 views after like 7 years. And he just finally had a meltdown, and he made a YouTube video where he just blew up, and he was like, fuck this, I've been doing this for 7 years and I don't have a fucking audience, and this is bullshit. And then I went back and watched some of his videos, and it was like, well, his production value sucked. And I think this ties into, somebody asked a question earlier up. I'm going to scroll up and see if I can find it. Now I can't see it now. I could have sworn somebody asked a question about, do you need to be personable and all this other stuff? And it's like, yeah, I mean, you kind of do. Like, you have to be personable. You have to be willing to research other people, what they're doing, what works for them. Find somebody who resonates with you and mimic that style. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with finding somebody whose style resonates with you and saying, I'm going to copy that. Don't copy it exactly. Use it as a source of inspiration. But then, what are they doing that makes you like that particular style? How can you make that work for you? Are they comedic? Are they, do they play a specific genre that you like? Like, all of those things are important to being successful at this. Yeah, the blow up thing though is random, Blackthorn. So a good example of this is actually because I do the video production for my brother's ranch, and we've been that YouTube channel got started a year ago, and we're a little bit over a year, and we had our second viral piece, which went live 3 days ago. We've had a couple of videos. Most of the videos get up, anywhere from like 70 to 300 views. Occasionally we'll have one go a little bit bigger. We've had one last year that blew up to like 7,000 views, and we have one right now that's done about 3,000 views in the last 3 days. So it's doing well right now. The key to those though, like with TikTok and everything else, is consistency, and just every single day you're throwing shit at the wall, and eventually the algorithm picks stuff up and throws it at the wall, and eventually those become more and more frequent. And the more you can throw at it, this is why I was saying earlier in terms of streaming, the more hours you could be live per day, the more chances there are of people tuning in, of people rating you, of people coming across you, a big streamer seeing you and sending his audience to you when they're finishing up their stream. That's all part of it. It's just the more you can be live, the more video content that you can produce, the better. Yeah, it's also important to know about video editing, software, you have to learn film editing, you have to learn lots of tools, ins and outs of copyright. That's all complexities that go way beyond. The basic question was, can you do it? Um, you definitely can do it, but yes, Cryptic. It gives me something to work on with the love of gaming and start making a business plan. A business plan would be a great start. Like, just treat it like any other business. You're 53 years old. I'm sure you've done business plans before. Just treat it like any other business. You come up with you don't get to go to the bank and just be like, give me $20,000. Like, you have to have a business plan for that. So it's not a bad deal. Come up with a business plan and then figure it out on paper first, and then start attacking it little bit by little bit. Oh, also on the really quick, I wanted to say something about the things to blow up. One of the things I know that Pirate Software has credited to his explosion a couple years back was he had said that he'd been doing it for like 7 years, very steady and slow growth, and then there came a point when he hired a video editor full time, and that guy just started doing YouTube shorts like all day, and they went from doing like one, I don't remember the exact schedule, but I think they went from doing like 1 or 2 YouTube shorts a day to like 15 YouTube shorts a day. And by increasing the amount of videos that were going live every day, they increased their amount of videos going viral. And so it just became this rolling effect of suddenly the algorithm picked up that there were a ton of videos coming out. A handful of them went viral, and then all of them started going viral because there were so many of the videos that were out there and available. And I've seen that on a smaller scale. I don't have the budget to hire a full-time video editor, so I still do everything myself. And so I generally will do 6 to 8 hours a day of streaming, and then I will do 3 to 4 hours a day of video editing, where I will cut guides together, and I do one YouTube short / TikTok short / Instagram reel every single day. And that works for me. I could probably spend more time doing shorts for TikTok and stuff and see greater success. I don't need to explode, Slacker. That's the thing. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever going to say no to exploding because it gets you money, and everyone loves money. But there's also a lot of headaches that come with exploding, because now suddenly you got to deal with more assholes when you explode. Because I'm okay, like we're rocking 80, 90 people in chat right now. I'm able to keep up with the chat. I don't need a moderator. I moderate my own stuff. But when I start, and we've been here on the days when it gets a little crazy, like when I've got more than 100 people watching, 150 people watching, I can't keep up with the chat. I have to moderate people. We have to ban assholes. Like, it starts to become a thing where it's like you start to get that big, you have to have a moderator team, which means paying employees, which means the complexities of adding more things that my accountant has to do, which means my accountant bill goes up, which means now I'm paying more there, and now I'm paying out to employees, and now I got to worry about contractors, and am I contracting them or are they employees? Do I form an S corp or do I just keep it as it is? Like, there's a whole lot of stress that goes with blowing up if you're going to do it legitimately. And as someone who has managed multiple businesses over my career, I would prefer to just slow and steady. It's manageable. I think that I'm also in a unique position where I'm not seeking fame like a lot of the younger generation is, because I'm comfortable where I am in life. The only objectives I have are to buy the mountain property so that I can set up my wife's art studio so that she can sculpt and paint, and then I can have my writer's room where I can go back to just... My plan is, by the time I'm 50, I would like to be at a point where I'm just piddling around on my mountain property and writing science fiction and fantasy for the rest of my life. Like, that's... And I'm a chunk of the way there already where I am right now, so I've got plenty of runway to get there. As long as the health stays good and my growth on YouTube and Twitch stays steady, then I'm good to go. So for me, I'm very content with where I am in life. I think the other, a lot of people have problems with wanting too much, and so they try to grasp at things that aren't worth it. Um, I know I get a lot of people will. I do have minimums these days. Like if I'm not, I think it was maybe even 5-6 months ago, I was streaming something. I can't remember what game it was. Oh, I know what it was. It was when the most recent Call of Duty came out. That would have been like last August or something. It was a Game Pass. It was the first one that came to Game Pass, and I like the Call of Duty single player campaigns. I went and played that game, and by the end of the first stream, we started off the stream with like 70 people watching. By the end of it, there were 7. And when I got to 7 people watching, I was like 10 hours into the stream. But when it dropped to 7 people, I cut it off and was like, I'm not going to stream to 7 people. I'm beyond that. Like, I'm way beyond streaming to 7 people. Like these days, I'm like, if it gets less than 25, 30 people, I'll just go off and do something else, because I can make more money uploading videos than I can streaming to 25 people. So for me, it's very much a financial thing for me. I go where the money is, and if the money is in video uploads, I'll do video uploads, and if the money is in streaming, I'll go do streaming. So most days we do pretty good, but I am conscious of it, and so I'm always sort of pushing for that. But I'm very happy with that, because I'll get people who come on the channel and they'll make fun of things like, oh, you have a video that only did 150 views, and I'm like, yep, I do, but I also published 15 other videos that day. So if you're going to look at the one video that did 150 views, let's look at the other 15 videos I published that day, because I do about 15 videos a day. Let's look at the 15 videos plus the stream plus the Twitch numbers, and let's look at the total aggregate number of views that I got over the course of the day across 15 videos and 2 live streams on YouTube and Twitch. And then you take the total of all of that. And I always tell people too, I have more than I think we're over 8,500 videos on YouTube now. If you start to add that up, if every video is making a penny per day, 8,500 pennies adds up to quite a bit. Now, not every video is making 1 penny per day, but some make more than a penny per day, some make less than a penny per day. But the point is, the more you put out there, the more it all adds up every single day. And people will try to make fun of you for having, oh, you've only got, we've had this multiple times. Oh, you're 50,000 followers on YouTube and you've only got 33 people in your stream. What a loser. And it's like, yeah, there's also 28 people watching on Twitch. I published 12 other videos today. Like, you're ignorant for looking at it that way. Bubble says, fame, even on a small level, is a trap. You're always better off focusing on having a great reputation. Correct. Reputation is key. And also, Natasha, who is the head of, she's like one of the big heads of marketing for Funcom, for Dune Awakening. She had a great Twitter post discussion a few days ago. She was talking about people who use viewbots, and how, as an industry professional, she and others in that profession have access to tools. And I know this because I also worked as an influencer manager in the travel industry. When you're working on the other side of the table, everyone has tools that they can use to see what a content creator or streamer's engagement numbers are. And the amount of followers you have, or the amount of views that you're getting per video, or the amount of people you have watching your streams, almost never, ever, ever factor into whether or not a company is willing to work with you. Instead, they're looking at engagement. And you can be a very small streamer, you can be a micro influencer or a macro influencer or a macro micro content creator with 5,000 followers and have a higher engagement rate than somebody with 50,000 followers or 500,000 followers. And the engagement rate is what companies are looking for. How much does your community engage with you? What are they taking action when you ask them to? Are they interacting with your content? Is your chat rate good? Those are the numbers that people look at. Fame doesn't get you anywhere. Big numbers don't get you anywhere. What gets you somewhere is reputation and just being consistent and being entertaining is important, but I think real is more important. For better or for worse, I am very blunt sometimes, which definitely has impacted my viewership over the years, but I'm also old enough that I just don't give a shit. My wife would like me to be less combative on my streams, um, but I haven't quite gotten past that yet because I still do enjoy interacting with the trolls, and there's a sick, perverse enjoyment I get out of, hit them with the strong hand, whoopsh, and getting to play our troll band music that we got from Babylonia. I do get a sick pleasure out of that, so I haven't quite gotten to that point yet. JPR says, I just came from your TikTok videos, specifically your Death Stranding one talking about gamers complaining. Hope to catch your Death Stranding stream, but Dune is cool too. We played Death Stranding this morning for a couple hours, JP. We'll be back again tomorrow morning with more Death Stranding. Anyway, that turned into a 40-minute discussion, which was awesome. But I do need to go help Chris cook lunch because I am probably 30 minutes late to help her cook. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hopefully I answered your question, Cryptic. That will be a good one to clip out on YouTube for later. No more streams today. I'm going to go cook and watch a movie with Chris. I'll be back again tomorrow bright and early for more Death Stranding 2, and we will, of course, do some more Dune Awakening tomorrow as well. And have a great day. Be good to each other. Don't forget you can find me on all the socials. There was a new Homestead video that went out today, so if you haven't watched that yet, it's on the post page for YouTube. It's on all the social media. It's in the Discord. The river's up, so we went for a walk this morning. And you can go watch that.